The warning signs were clear, but they went unheeded. All that remains of Derna, a city in northeastern Libya, is debris and destruction now. According to the World Health Organization, the deadly floods have killed more than 3,900 people in the North African country. This flood disaster that killed thousands in the coastal town of Derna has also displaced more than 43,000 people. And this, of course, is according to the International Organization for Migration. Now, search teams continue to look through the shattered apartment buildings amongst all the debris in search of the missing. The International Committee of the Red Cross said that sanitation and water access are the most urgent needs in Derna. This as humanitarian assistance is being deployed in flood-hit areas. ICRC's head of the Libya delegation said upon return from a mission to Derna that the organization's work was not restricted by the local authorities, but strong military presence was quite apparent in the city.
Local authorities really ensured us that we could work really freely, so that they receive orders to favor and facilitate our work. But at the same time, we saw that there was a very strong military presence in Derna. Dead bodies were buried rapidly, sometimes without a proper identification. Sometimes it was done because the family was able to recognize their relative and agree that the bodies were buried, but there was a bit maybe a sense of emergency to bury the dead body as soon as possible.
Now, as its citizens try to pick up the pieces, the question remains, could the collapse of the two dams have been averted after Mediterranean storm Daniel hit the country's coastline? According to a report by a state-run audit agency in 2021, the two dams had not been maintained despite the allocation of more than $2 million for that purpose in 2012 and 2013. As the storm hit the African nation on September 10th, a tsunami-sized flash flood broke through the two aging dams upstream from Derna, and the entire city was wiped out. The dams were overwhelmed by the torrential rains, but no one was prepared for what was to follow. The floods destroyed entire neighborhoods, sweeping several people into the sea. It was estimated nearly a quarter of the city was completely wiped out. 12 days on, and emergency response crews are keeping up their grim search, with bodies still trapped inside shattered buildings and divers searching the seas. Derna's mayor fears that 20,000 people might have lost their lives here. Floods in Libya have also swept away migrants and their hopes of attempting to go to Europe. UN's migration agency estimated that there were over 230,000 migrants living in eastern Libya. And 10% of the flood victims are said to be non-Libyans. Among the dead was a Syrian teenager named Ammar Kanan. His uncle narrates the last conversation he had with him before the dam burst.
كان موجود فيه يعني مشان أهله يشوفوا ويتأكدوا صعب جدا.
As time passes, the chorus among locals grows louder, demanding answers from the authorities on the scale of the catastrophe and the cracks in infrastructure that escalated this tragedy. Just 2 days ago, protesters burnt the mayor's residence as despair and loss engulfs the coastal town.